Hi, Paula.
Good morning. So Ed, as a client myself, I always wanted to ask you, how did you come to start this business?
It's a long story, unfortunately, but we've been incorporated now for a little over 10 years. I just saw a need for smaller businesses, and we happen to have the skill set to develop these key pillars for growth oriented businesses: audit readiness, tax readiness, financial management readiness. So it's been a little over 2 years, and the team has grown.
I've noticed that you often say the words growth-oriented businesses. What does that mean exactly?
Wow, those businesses, they're going through a point of inflection where they can make the right decision or unfortunately make the wrong decision. And wouldn't it be nice if your financial statements would provide you some additional clarity, some opportunities to realize where are the trouble spots that can come? And you got to look at your history in order to develop your budget, right? So if those businesses that are growing really need help, inflection point.
What do those inflection points look like exactly?
I would use words like KPIs. Like if you're not if you don't see the picture from the rear view mirror of the development of your company over the past 3, 4, 5 years, even on a quarterly basis, how do you pivot?
Mm.
How do you learn from what your positive uh, actions are, and unfortunately your negative ones that you couldn't see? So there are many KPIs that can we can really elaborate on once we're in with the company as a trusted consultant or a trusted team, even better, because it's not just me.
I love the services. Of course, we have financial consulting, managerial bookkeeping, tax readiness. But at the end of the day, growth can be scary for a business owner, even for the biggest and brightest. Your financial consulting,
Mhm.
um, tell me just a little bit about that.
I'm going to digress for a little bit. Unfortunately, with learning over the years, your typical bell curve is not your typical bell curve when it comes to businesses. I unfortunately see for every one growing company that did it right, that has their SHIT together, the other nine companies, six are, floundering, the other three are not and are struggling. So that in itself, financial consulting is seeing how can you help those three or improve the six, even though we consult with the one, all they're looking for is confirmation that they're taking the right steps. So financial consulting is an add-on over and above accounting, right? If your numbers aren't right, how can you figure out what your metrics are?
Mm.
Yeah. And so on and so forth.
In your trusted role, though, I'm assuming that you are making referrals to other professionals that are supportive of your area. So as these growth-oriented businesses become stronger, what other professions might you recommend to them as this trusted person within their midst?
Of course, we were brought in on one engagement, a construction company that is doing well. And then I go, And then all of a sudden, with his team of 15, I says, wouldn't it be nice to defer $300,000 and 94% of those $300,000 goes into your pocketbook, Mr. Owner? I am not skilled enough to do that. And there's some compliance issues. So the letters TPA, third party administrator, designs the plan correctly for this well run business. Of course, the normals are the tax preparer to make sure I can throw in all kinds of acronyms out there. I won't. It's not right. But certainly from an S corporation perspective, there are some key elements that the tax preparer needs to have designed properly. in order for it to maximize tax benefit. There's professionals on the financial services side too, so it can go on, insurances, etc.
It sounds like you're with these growth-oriented businesses
Mhm.
along the journey. You're taking the journey with them. Can you explain to me what a fractional position like your company does exactly?
Absolutely. I think anything 30 million and under, maybe even higher, does not need a full-time CFO. If you have well dialed in financials, meaning through the accounting side of good month end closes, and then the next step is determining your KPIs, just um, monthly visits with a CFO to assure that everything's running smoothly. You don't need to pay for the whole cost of a CFO. So thus, we have a portfolio of companies that we service, and we're grateful to each one of them for allowing us to be in there.
And so as we close this out, tell me who you are and how you relate to this wonderful business.
Well, I'm Ed Gines. I'm a fractional CFO. Uh, Audit readiness, tax readiness, financial management readiness for growth oriented businesses. Our team has grown to 7. Um, I'm blessed to have a team that's very helpful where they handle a lot of the nuts and bolts of the accounting. And then I go in as a CFO to help out our portfolio.
Thank you, Ed. I appreciate that.
You're welcome.